So I wanted to show you this before we get deeper into conditional statements because when you're studying online and you're looking at other examples, you're actually going to see a conditional statement that's as simple as what we have right here with, notice there's no parameters before or after, it didn't need the if portion. And this is why. It's because this is the most limited comparison statement that we have in Scheme. Now, what I mean by limited is that you can only return true and false from the statement that you see being highlighted right now. That's all you can do. You can't customize the return of either one of the true or false parameters. It's just true and false. So that sounds bad at first, but if you are strictly building a Boolean function, then this is great. But if you're not, if you want to have the true return something other than the true portion, I want to make sure I specify here. If you want the true portion to return something other than just true, then you're going to have to see some of the examples that we're going through here. But if you just want it to return a true or false, so here I'm doing the done correctly here, and all I'm doing is printing out the result to make sure that we're on the up and up here. But you'll see we're using, there's no if in there, there's no true or false parameter, it's just the condition itself, and that'll work out in Scheme. Now notice, by the way, I can use other functions, and we'll go over equal here in a little bit, for strings, so it doesn't have to be just numerical values for this to work. And we can use other comparison functions other than less than, greater than, stuff like that. You know, I see it says use a simple example, but it can use more verbose ones as well, and that'll still work out. Here, just for giggles, I wanted to try this, is that all I tried to do was the exact same condition, but I wanted to override the true and the false to see if that would work. And notice it didn't really do it. It still had the true and the false we have here, but notice it just slammed in that right and wrong at the end of it here. So obviously that's not right, so we don't want to use that. And then I just at the very end, because you're going to start seeing this a little bit more and more, as a function, we could notice the conditions exactly the same as what we have before. We're using a remainder, which is a function, a mathematical function, and I'm really checking to see if this function is even or not, and it worked out just fine. But I wanted to show you, you're really not going to see this example again because I'm not doing a lot of things in Boolean, but at least wanted to show you that this is another version that you can use that you'll see online. But again, what's the difference between this and what's coming up is that we're strictly defined the true and falses as returned using this type of syntax in Scheme.